Okay, so when I got to the bar, that's when I realized that Ortega got pulled because he was having health complications. Makes sense now. The weight cut on short notice, everything. That's a hard bounce back. But then it was too late to go turn back, drive home, make a video that Dan Ige versus Diego Lopes was going to be the new fight. And then my prediction changed, where it's like, okay, now this is a winnable fight for Diego Lopes because this is below where I think he should be, right? I think he should have probably gone for Josh Emmett first. Obviously, short notice fight. It was more for the fans. So it'd be hard to call up Josh Emmett and say, hey, do you want to get this done? Because he might have been slated to fight someone else. Who knows? But I really think that obviously Diego Lopes, though, at this point, had that fight gone through, Ortega versus Lopes, and everyone was completely healthy, it's safe to say, at least at this point in Diego Lopez's career, he would have taken his first L on his winning streak. And, like I said, jump ups in the rankings like this, like Hamzat versus Gilbert Burns, that's where you can either, succeed and show that you really are better than a lot of people think, or that's going to show that you need things to work on, and that would have been bad for Diego Lopes. I know the guy's got a lot of momentum. I want to see him succeed. I really want to see him tear through people because I really think that he's got all the tools to make it in the top 15, maybe even the top 5. However, he was doing really good in the first 2 rounds. The third round was where he started to fade a little bit, and it showed that he needs to work on his cardio first and foremost. His pace and his style, where he waits for you to throw something and then he's going to answer with just a barrage of strikes, really just, it's deadly for the division. It just showed that he's got a good style. I think he just needs to work on his endurance. He needs to work on his conditioning. He needs to continue training. But I also think that since he got the win against Dan Ige, obviously, very, very good for him. Obviously the highest profile fight. But I think he's got to take his time picking his fights moving up now. Because any big jump, like if he were to take on someone like Yair Rodriguez or someone who's like really got an established name for themselves, even Alexander Volkanovski, oh yeah, no, that would be a bad night at the office for him. That's why I'm saying, yeah, Ortega would have definitely won that fight. But yeah, he squeaked by this time. Got the unanimous decision. But what does he do now? I'd say he gets back to the office, continues to improve, and then maybe fights. He could fight Bryce Mitchell, because honestly, looking at that now, I think Bryce Mitchell would be a good matchup for him, to be honest. Excuse me. It is late, and I'm probably about to hit the hay after this, but Bryce Mitchell would be a good fight for him. I think that's very winnable if he just takes the rankings slow, because he's going to have time to grow on his next camp and move up and get back into the octagon. Maybe even punch up, fight Josh Emmett, work on his pacing a little bit, watch for any overhand so he doesn't get flash knocked out. Because Emmett would be a very dangerous fight if he gets hit, but if he plays his cards right and plays patiently and takes it all the way, picks his shots, maybe Emmett takes it to the ground and Diego Lopes with his submission skills, because Diego Lopes' jiu-jitsu is pretty up there. I'm going to be real. I like seeing that kind of stuff from him. So he got to showcase a lot of his skills, but it's just showing that how he treads upwards is going to either decide whether he's made or broken in this division. But I just said what I needed to say. I'm actually still on Diego Lopes' side, and that's why I'm playing vicarious manager right now. But things happen for reasons, and this last-minute swap-up was good. Are there other arguments that say maybe Lopes just had a swap up in opponents and he was fighting a whole different style? Maybe. But Yeah, no, we were really able to see where he was realistically at, and he's not completely swept under the rug or written off, but I feel like the aura has kind of died out just because we realized, okay, for the high standards of what the division has to offer now, he's got work to do. But knowing him and knowing how seriously he takes the sport, I'm fully confident that he's going to do it. Peace.